Hello there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 1st. So, just to go over your reading, every sign this week has had some very recurring themes. Yours is actually one of the ones that's a little bit different, but still kind of lining up with everything that's been going on. And I feel like everything that's been going on with most of the Leos out there. So, the first card you get is the Five of Diamonds. Now, I always view five as kind of a pregnancy, as a birth. That's what this card always represents to me. And so, what the Five of Diamonds means is it usually means, well, one, it can bring a lot of happiness. When you think about birth, most people are happy when they have a baby. It's a time of extreme happiness, so that's one thing to think about. But again, this is not a physical birth. This is not you actually having a baby or anything like that. That's not what this card means. It's more of being very happy and successful, and it also is it's a card of having some ideas that you birth. And this could be business, it could be in your job, it could also be in a relationship, some relationship ideas or ideas about somebody you're interested in, and you being successful, basically starting a relationship with that person. It's a good time to start things. That's what this card means. And I know we're still in a retrograde and all this other stuff. However, like I tell people about retrogrades all the time, is, well, A, I'm not an astrologer, but B, we can't stop our lives for these retrogrades. I was watching somebody the other day, and I don't remember who it was, but they were saying, like, if we followed all the rules for all these retrogrades, we wouldn't get anything done, especially with Mercury, because if you count the periods, before and after the retrograde, we basically would be in a retrograde for 6 months out of the year. Totally ridiculous. We have to be able to get things done. So, this card is saying, probably it's a good idea. If you're thinking about starting a business, you're thinking about starting something at your job, you're thinking about getting a job, you're thinking about starting a relationship with somebody, this is kind of like a go card. Because, like I said, this is like a yes from the universe is what this card means. And, like I said, it's a very positive card. You have some positive stuff going on here, so I really wouldn't worry anything about that. Next, we have the Jack of Clubs. This is you, and it means that you'll probably be feeling very, young this week, very, very happy, very playful kind of energy going on this week with you. That maybe, I think you probably haven't felt this energy in quite some time. And again, I don't attach sex to my cards, so could be a male or female. You're either a male or female if you're watching this. So it doesn't matter what you are. It's just kind of like an archetype. It means how you're showing up in the reading. The other good news is, I always tell people when they show up in the reading as their own sign, it's very positive, because it means you're coming through with some like extra power this week. It means that you're kind of like standing in the reading very powerfully. So it's a good thing. It also means that you could be manifesting a lot. Like I said, the clubs cards are very mental, and I think you can manifest some new situations. I think this week, you get a lot of people coming in as well. So this could even be another person, somebody else coming in as well, just because of the fact that you have two other people coming in. This is the King of Spades. King of Spades, he's typically somebody who is darker haired, would be an air sign, basically. Now, this person, he's somebody who is, I always call this card kind of like the lawyer. This is somebody who's in your life or coming into your life who is very ambitious, very hardworking person. They typically would have darker features, so they would have dark hair. They might even dress darker. It's funny because people tend to really line up with their archetype as far as these cards go. It's really interesting to see in person, but these people are typically very driven. They are go-getters. They're aggressive and things like that. They go to get what they want and all this other stuff. And the bad side of these people is they always do things for themselves. So it's always like what's in it for them, not what's in it for you. And so this person could be coming into your life. The good news is, and I always tell people this, when this comes up in like a personal reading or something like that, I say, this person's coming in to give you advice, to give you help. That's why I say it could be, that's why I call it the lawyer card. Not necessarily a lawyer, but think anything A-type personality, very aggressive and kind of out there. But the good news about this person is, yes, while they do things for themselves, so think about a lawyer, they do things for money, because they're doing it to help you, but there's kind of like that ulterior motive. They're doing something for themselves to get the money. The good news is, though, like if I can't say that enough times, is that they work very hard. They get the job done, and they're always successful. They're like pit bulls. These types of people are pit bulls when it comes to being a lawyer or just giving you advice or something like that. So yes, while you might have to pay them, and that might be the real reason for doing a job for you, it's going to be very successful. You're going to come out on top and things like that. So again, this isn't necessarily, I know this is confusing, but it's not necessarily a lawyer in your life. It's just somebody coming through, giving you advice that would probably mostly serve them. But it's also advice you should probably take because it's going to be successful, so who cares what they get out of it. Next, we have the King of Diamonds. Again, this is typically somebody who is very driven, very aggressive, kind of embodies a lot of the same traits. They're somebody who's very, very influential is the word I would use. Somebody who's got a lot of like power behind them, very powerful. Typically kind of like entrepreneurial, things like that. Again, this could be a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. And, what I'm getting for a lot of you is that a lot of you are actually going to be embodying, and as I look at the reading and kind of think about this, is I think a lot of you are going to be embodying these traits. A lot of you are going to be feeling very entrepreneurial, getting into positions more with authority and job-wise. And, these are the things that a lot of you are going to be feeling. So this isn't necessarily a person for some of you. If it is a person for you, it would just be, like I said, another powerful person coming in giving you advice that you should take. This person does not have an ulterior motive. They do things to help other people for being helpful purpose. They just like to be helpful and things like that. And, it's interesting. They have two kings here. A lot of powerful people. Like I said, a lot of people coming in. Next, you have the Seven of Spades. Now, the interesting thing about this card is typically people read this card as advice that you should not take. So, it's interesting. But I'm not feeling that for you. I pulled a clarification card on this card that we're going to go over in just a second. But, I would say that if you have advice and you feel funny about it, don't take it. It would be coming from this person as well. Like I said, it could be male or female, but it would be the Ace of Spades. You would know them because they would be darker hair, darker features, and like I said, a lawyer. Like, just think about A-type personality lawyer. So if somebody like that comes into your life, just know that maybe you do want to take their advice with a grain of salt. Although, again, what I think this card is saying is I think it's just saying that, it's like you've been wanting something for a long time as a Leo. Leo has had a particularly hard time, and I've said this in the past for quite some time. They've been getting, challenged, especially in the workspace. If you're an entrepreneur or you have a job, it doesn't matter. You've been challenged in those places. And this is just saying that you've had to overcome a lot of obstacles to success and things like that. And I think it's coming up mostly in your past position. So I asked for some clarification. So I always meditate. That's why I don't draw cards on camera, because I always lay them out, and then I like to just take a few seconds to meditate on what I'm getting and things like that to clarify the message and clarify all the energies and things like that I'm feeling. So what I got is the Nine of Diamonds, which is a very good card. This indicates new business. This indicates a new job. This indicates travel. It indicates a lot of change. 9 is a number of new things. And when it comes in as a diamond, it's like new everything. It's like new everything is coming into your life right now. And what I really feel like is that this 7 of spades, I feel like it's just asking you to not worry about the past and not put your past feelings onto these new situations. So, it's like kind of like maybe in the past people have given you advice and it was bad advice. But I think that this card is saying, yes, that was bad advice, but the advice you're receiving now, it's like the challenges are over. Now you have all this good new stuff coming in. So yeah, it's okay to take that advice with a grain of salt, but it's also saying go ahead and, listen to it. And it's really asking you to trust your feelings. Some Leos have a hard time because of all these challenges that they've had in the past. Maybe you have a hard time trusting yourself now. You don't even trust your own feelings on things. And now you're being asked to trust yourself. And I'm feeling that most strongly this week. So that's what I think the overall message really is that you can birth a lot of new good stuff, but you just got to trust yourself this week. You got to trust your instincts and trust your feelings. And I think you'll end up really in a good position this week. So thank you for watching this video, Leo.